New this morning, we actually just got word from Governor Tim Walz that he made the announcement that Melissa and Mark Hortman will lie in state. This is happening on Friday, June 27th. The former House Speaker and her husband were killed on June 14th by a gunman in their home.
Now, the couple will be joined by their beloved golden retriever, Gilbert, who was euthanized after being shot multiple times. Former Speaker Hortman will be the first woman and one of fewer than 20 Minnesotans to lie in state at the Capitol. If you'd like to pay your respects, the rotunda will be open to all. This will be from noon until 5 on Friday.
Well, despite all the recent contention in Washington, there was a rare moment when politics was put aside. Minnesota's congressional delegation paid tribute to the lives lost and changed by the recent lawmaker tax.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today alongside my colleagues from the state of Minnesota to honor the lives of Melissa and Mark Hortman, who were shot and killed in an unspeakable act of political violence last week.
It is through tragedies like this that we are reminded that we are stronger together. There's more that unites us than divides us.
All 8 congressional members from Minnesota took part in a moment of silence yesterday on the House floor in Washington. Before that, Representative Emmer shared his prayers for the Hoffman family during their recovery. He also disavowed the attack, saying there is no place for political violence in the country.
And while the state grapples with security questions after the shooting of Minnesota lawmakers, protests and political speech continue. Protests gathered outside of Minnesota Republican headquarters. This is in Edina on Monday. And they say extreme right-wing rhetoric fanned by Trump and Republicans had fueled Vance Belter's actions. Republicans on Monday called the protests reckless and asked the DFL and the governor to, quote, take responsibility for the climate their allies are creating. Republicans say protesters have First Amendment rights, but they shouldn't express them in a building the GOP shares with other occupants, and not so soon after the shootings of Minnesota lawmakers.
This just really is not the time and place for this to happen, and that people certainly can exercise their First Amendment rights, but really be respectful of other people and their rights also.
If they think that our group of protesters who are completely peaceful is fanning to the violence, then I would ask them what their party is doing.
Say it loud. Investigators have not pointed to Belter's specific political affiliations.
Our Barrett Leone joins us in studio with a closer look at that devastation. And Barrett, I mean, we see it right behind you. It's rare to see something like this of this magnitude in our own backyard.
Exactly. Yeah, meteorologists say they haven't seen something like this in a really long time. The damage is really unbelievable to look at. This is a bird's eye view of Bemidji. Thousands of trees snapped and torn. Countless roofs caved in, garages destroyed. Still thousands without power at this time right now. Weather experts say this storm brought winds equivalent to an EF2 tornado. And looking at the chaos and destruction left in its wake, it's really a miracle that no one was hurt here. Now, folks in and around the town of Bemidji, they're still cleaning up, and they will be for a while. They were hit by a straight-lined windstorm early Saturday morning. Its path reaching 10 miles wide through downtown Bemidji and in the southern Lake Bemidji area. You can see the strength of this storm in this footage here. Wind speeds were estimated to be 90 to 120 miles per hour. Again, the same speed as a level 2 tornado. Meteorologists say that this sheer scale of wind is rare.
I've seen wind damage, but nothing like this. This is when people compare things to larger scale wind events like hurricanes. It almost felt like I was in a hurricane's path, and the aftermath damage just by the sheer force of all the trees all the way down, power lines down, all of that. So it was just a sheer force of all of that, and it was incredible to see the strength of the wind.
Town continues to clean up. We're seeing several closures. Bemidji State University and Northwest Technical College will remain closed through tomorrow. Bemidji State through the end of the week. Again, the governor is set to visit Beltrami County to take a look at the damage and meet with local officials. That's happening at 11. We'll tell you how you can help this community in need. They need a lot of it in about 30 minutes.
Our Barrett Leone in studio with that update. Barrett, thank you. Well, closer to the metro, police in Minneapolis are trying to figure out who gunned down an 11-year-old boy in broad daylight. This happened at Falwell Park just after 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Police say a Good Samaritan who tried to take the boy to the hospital flagged them down. An MPD lieutenant began to give CPR, but the boy died at the scene. A preliminary investigation suggests the shooting is connected to 3 cars driving through the park. The police chief, Brian O'Hara, calls his death senseless.
I cannot emphasize how terrible it is to have an 11-year-old boy shot during the day and killed. but it's clear that there were other people here when this happened.
Police say they have conflicting information right now about what happened. They're asking for people who know something to come forward, even anonymously, to help with the investigation. Hey, let's go ahead and take a look at your money headlines this morning, because from Google searches to self-checkout, there's a good chance that you are using artificial intelligence every day without knowing it. There's also a growing concern AI could replace your job. Top leaders in Silicon Valley warn AI is coming for people's jobs. Experts say it's the worst job market for young people in decades, and that's because, in part, entry-level jobs are starting to disappear and they're being replaced by AI.
Compared to previous technology changes, I'm a little bit more worried about the labor impact, simply because it's happening so fast that, yes, people will adapt, but they may not adapt fast enough.
If you are worried AI is coming for your job, or if you're just a new graduate, experts say to focus on non-technical skills. Think of things that AI cannot provide, like being curious, being compassionate. Also, figure out what makes you unique, because that is your edge. Experts recommend expanding your knowledge base and understanding new technologies. Always add to that utility belt. It can never hurt you.